Welcome to Shepherd's Coffee Talk. We have a very interesting guest with us today who is very inspiring. And hopefully you're going to share part of your journey with us.
Pressure. The pressure's on. Collette Watson is Senior Vice President Broadcasting for Rogers Television. She and I have known each other for a number of years. I've watched Collette just go up
Up that ladder to the top tier.
And as she's gone up, she's taken so many people with her, which is really one of the things I love about you so much. But let's talk about the changing business that you're in, because we're all impacted by how television has changed over time.
It has incredibly changed, and a lot of people say, oh, television is dead. What I don't believe that for a second, because humans, since the beginning of time and until the end of time, will want to be informed and entertained. That's never going to change.
That's true.
You want to go home and you want to watch a show, you want to know what's going on, there's an election coming, you want to know what Donald Trump did today, right?
Yes.
And so that's not going to change. What needs to change is how we deliver the content and how we include advertisers and how we monetize all of that. And so it's been challenging, but who doesn't love a challenge? Right?
Well, no kidding. And I think that the big challenge was that, television was introduced in the 50s. We were all like, wow, I got a TV. We're thinking this is pretty cool. And then everybody kind of fell asleep and everybody made money, it was going really well. And then wham, a disruptor happens, which is really in any industry the best thing that could happen to you.
It really shakes you up.
It shakes you up.
You've got to rethink and outside the box, right?
Yeah, you have to stay on your toes. Sometimes I have to convince my bosses that this isn't a dying business. It is a transforming business. It is evolving. You have to evolve with it. And sometimes, okay, we don't have the idea first, but you can improve on the idea.
Yeah.
You can move with the idea. You can catch up to the idea. But if you decide you're going to be the dinosaur, then
You're done.
That's when you get passed over.
And that's true for human beings. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Marlene sees it in her business. I see it in mine. People feel like as they age, they're irrelevant. They're not. They don't matter anymore, which is really not the truth. We are, as you said earlier, Collette, creatures of habit. We like to be entertained. We like to know what's going on. So in that, today, you no doubt, in your position as Senior Vice President, seen the knocks that social media has brought to the table to challenge what you do. And I wonder about the impact of how that operates now that so many people think they have their own TV stations.
They do, right? It's all about the old 15 minutes of fame. You kind of had to wait for your break to catch the 15 minutes of fame. Now you just create your 15 minutes
Right.
of fame. There are some cycles. I'm seeing it start to turn around as I watch events unfold. One is technology, right? We have moved all of our broadcasting technology. We spent years going 16:9 wide because everyone's getting the widescreen TVs. Now we have to flip that this way. We've got to create our content to fit on a phone. So you have to completely invert it. And so technology takes time. So if you're a big company, you're maybe not as nimble as a new disruptor starter who's doing it kind of in their bedroom or in a store. We could never have done this show 10 years ago without going to a big black box studio. And I remember having a conversation with my engineering team and my designing team, and they wanted to do digital. And everyone says you need a digital strategy. I'm the only person in the business who thinks of digital as a tool, not a strategy. You need to have a content strategy, and digital is a tool.
Serves the content.
Yeah, so you will create the content people want to watch, and they'll find it. They will find it, but you need to be where they are. So you need to move from this to this. You need to create new content. I don't personally believe in cutting content, cutting a TV show and making little snippets for a variety of platforms. You talk to your audiences where they are in that platform. And so once you get the resources and the technology aligned, then boom, away you go.
I love this disruptive thinking because the mainstream thinks exactly opposite from what you said. And you know, so much of business now is run by money people, basically, as opposed to content people the way it used to be. So the first thing they will do is cut content because they think, but it's the opposite. And I fully agree with what you're saying, of course. So can we talk a little about your story? Because Collette, you know, you're a person just like Marlene was, just like I was, a person with a dream, an idea that you wanted to do something. So can you give us the Precis version?
Oh, well, the Precis version, since I was 12 years old, I wanted to be Mary Tyler Moore.
I love that show too.
With a little bit more, I wanted to run a TV network. And it took me a while, but when I got there, and you know what was the most shocking thing about when I finally got to run the City TV network, and I ran CPAC as a national network for 15 years prior, but I wanted to run a broadcast network. That was the thing. And, you know, my luck, I get there when it's falling apart and it's being disrupted, but I got there. The biggest aha moment for me when I got there is that was my goal from the age of 12 to when I got it, which was in my 50s. It's like, wow, I don't have another goal. I need a new goal.
Need a new goal.
So that's what's going on in my head now. It's like, all right, what's my next
What's
goal?
next?
Because
Have you figured it out yet?
No.
Okay.
You
That's
always
okay.
have to be striving for the
Yes,
next thing, right?
you've got to be
I
looking
think that's
for
what keeps you
tomorrow.
moving forward.
Fully agree.
Yeah,
And if you think about Mary Tyler Moore, in many ways she ran the show too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you know,
yes.
we're finally getting to the point now where I think women are being recognized for their contribution as opposed to being dismissed in a sense for their contribution.
And you've been through that all.
Oh
I
my
mean, you know,
gosh.
you started in the days when you were like a Mary Tyler Moore. You were in the background.
The
You might
only-
have been running things, but not really on paper.
And you know what? I've been in the business 30 years, and I really don't want to discourage the audience out there, but I still face that. I absolutely still do. So for the first 10 years of my career as the only woman in the boardroom, which was awesome because I had the bathroom all to myself. But
It wasn't in another building, was it?
But today I find myself, if I want to do something that is unusual or get the financing for something, I have to plant the words in the mouths of a male, either colleague or underling. The underling part is what's most insulting, right? So I still have to do that. I've given up, you know, being the suffragette with respect to that.
It's tiring.
I just want to get it done, right? I want to get the $14 million to do a streaming project, right? And so if that's how I have to do it, I have to do it. It's probably not the right thing to do, but I'm results oriented, so I wanted that done.
You want to get it done.
Yeah,
But
sure.
it's in business. That's the objective. It isn't about your ego in a sense. It's about what's the goal. What are we trying to do? Let's get it done at whatever cost we have to get it done.
Yeah.
So however we do it, and you know, I've heard exactly what you've said out of the mouths of leaders in law, in leaders in other streams of business as well. It just we have come so far, but we have so far to go. We have so far to go.
Totally.
So I'm thinking we need to do another segment with
Oh my
Collette
gosh,
because
yeah.
there's
We
so
haven't
much
even
more to
got
talk
the
about.
things I want to talk about your mentorship and
let's
you
talk
know,
about
women
that.
over 50 and
We're going to do that.
Okay.
So please join us again next time for Coffee Talk when we talk with Collette Watson again. Thank you.